Hello, everybody. Welcome back. The group action roll. Very special day today. I'm really excited. I'm joined with so many friends. Say hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
Hello.
Hi, buddy. On there.
Hi, friends.
I am Ghost, your game master here at Group Action Roll. You can also call me Pete, whatever you find most palatable. Joined with all my friends. We're going to take a moment in true Group Action Roll tradition, go around the horn on my screen, not yours, and say hello and introduce yourself. Let's start with you, Sage.
First of all, I'm so honored to be first. No, I'm totally kidding. Hi, hello. If you don't know who I am, my name is Story Sage, or you can just call me Sage. I am a streamer here on Twitch and on social media. You can find me at Story Sage, which is STORI Sage. We talk about a lot of things: mental health, life, disability stuff, just life. And we stream, not TTRPGs, but RPGs, and just have a lot of fun. So we'd love to have you sometime.
Outstanding. We're going to jump on over to Sean. What's going on, Sean? And Fargrim, I see you. I'm going to re-add you. Sorry, go ahead.
Sean here, or Teleron in the chat. I also am still trying to get some streaming going with Blood on the Clock Tower on my All Six Sides channel, but it's been tough with the holidays and getting enough people together and stuff. So hopefully in the next week or so, we'll be able to get a game going, streaming, and then from there on out. But always looking for more people. If anyone's interested, give me a shout.
Oh, and I should do the Twitch thing. I have
for those who don't know, Blood on the Clock Tower is a social deduction game, kind of like Werewolf or Mafia, but with a lot more character powers, and you don't have to leave the game when you die.
Oh, that's nice. And unlike this game, which we're going to get into later in today's session, let's go on over to Jen. How's it going, Jen?
Hi, it's going great. I'm Jen. Or Blue Phoenix, whatever you want to call me, as long as it's one of those things. I stream Tuesdays through Fridays right now. I did not stream today because I didn't want to. Tuesdays might have to start in February, but yeah, I play games. I also do co-working so that I can edit my videos for my new YouTube channels. So there's that. One of them is a reaction channel. I'm not giving you that yet because I don't have any content on there, and it would be weird if I got a whole bunch of subscribers all of a sudden and no content. So I'll tell you later.
Outstanding. Thanks, Jen. Fargrim, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? I'm Fargrim the Barbarian. I stream mostly on Wednesdays now for a Sengoku period fantasy D&D world called The Fated Few. In August, I have another campaign with Ghost in it. Sage and Phoenix were invited to it as Dragon Teacup, called The Ivory Throne. And I also have trying to do some Daggerheart this year.
Heck yeah.
The theme for my world is pre-colonial Americas. That Red Dead feel.
Nice.
And,
very cool.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Outstanding. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to playing, and again, I am looking forward to playing with so many of you. There's so many coals in the fire. So excited. Let's go on over to Aaron, Immovable Rod. What's going on, man?
How's it going? So my name's Aaron, aka Immovable Rod, because that's what my handle is. That's what my favorite magic item is. On Instagram is where most of my content is. I just give quick adventure and campaign hook ideas. But on Thursdays now, I am running Daggerheart. It's episodic in nature, so people can kind of come and go. And I'm also running D&D one-shots on Twitch. And then I've got an experimental project coming on YouTube, and I'll It's not ready. I'll tell you later when next time.
Now we need to know.
Nah, I can't. I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, I'll say what it is later.
Okay. I look forward to that.
Thank you.
Okay, I just moved my screen. Jason Dean, what's going on?
How's it going? Jason Dean Aldea. I'm an actor and VFX artist. I've been a TTRPG player now for quite some time. I'm a huge fan of the kind of collaborative storytelling aspect from it. I'm not a streamer like many of you guys, but I am on 2 other actual play shows. One through the company Dicescape, and another just like acapella groups. They all tend to share themes through dice-told stories. Those have been very fun. They're both Daggerheart shows. I got my start in TTRPGs through D&D, but I've been playing a lot of Daggerheart recently. I'm a huge fan. And so I'm really excited to play this because I think Daggerheart has a lot of those kind of collaborative storytelling, almost like long form improv, but kind of guided and with other people. That kind of collaborative feeling is my favorite part of it. So I'm super excited about this.
Absolutely excited to have you. A fresh face, so many fresh faces on this in this series, on this stream. Another fresh face, Darian. What's going on, man?
Hi, I'm Old Man Zero. Most people call me Zero. I just so you see.
I think we lost you a little bit there.
That's it. Oh. Did you guys catch up to everything, or?
You're better now.
Well,
Yeah, you broke up a
say
little bit in the
again?
beginning there.
Oh, I Old Man Zero. Most people call me Zero. I'm mostly on Sage or Phoenix streams. I just stream casually and never play Daggerheart, so you see.
Outstanding. Yeah, fresh face. Definitely not a fresh name. Wait, that doesn't sound good. A name that you see around is what I'm trying to say. Certainly
Familiar
recognize the
name.
Familiar name.
Yeah.
Thank goodness
Yeah.
for you, Jen. All right. Well, welcome. It's great to see you. Another fresh face, Zara. I'm gonna mess up your name so many times by calling you Zara. Zira, what's going on?
No worries at all. Zara's not a bad name. Hi, I'm Zira. I am also not a streamer. I think I'm a biologist who has somehow managed to wander into an absolutely wonderful world. I've been playing with Teacup a few times now, and I'm very excited to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. Zira. Just gotta say it a bunch, and then I'll get used to it. And again, I'll continue to mess it up. I'm still not sure if I'm saying Toleron right, and we've been playing for like 8 months now.
Yep.
Last but not least, Teacup. What's going on?
Hey everybody, my name is Dragon Teacup. I run a TTRPG Discord group and Twitch stream, Dragon_Teacup, but we are called The Dumpstat. So we stream twice a month live on Twitch, doing 2 separate campaigns. One is a bunch of one-shots called Oops Only, which are all set in the same world, slowly going from prehistoric times to the far, far future. Right now, we're almost coming up on the industrial era. It's very interesting how each previous episode affects the future ones, even though they're thousands of years apart. The other one is much more condensed in nature. It all takes place in one simple little town called Valborough, where a bunch of young adults are faced with a demonic entity, and we just had our first character death last week. I won't say who, because spoilers, but it was very sad. So that's me, and that's what I do. And I also play with Zira in person, so we know each other IRL, and I almost killed them yesterday. I'm on a roll this month, apparently.
Dangerous. Well, outstanding. It's great to have you all on the stream. This is, of course, our big Session Zero for Oathfyre, Series 2 of our adventures in Aer'yndor. That's not what we call it, but hey, why not? We should, maybe. So we are gonna sort of hop into the agenda a little bit. I just opened my Discord to find those notes. So real quick, just to kind of start with how this is going to look, we're going to go over our cats and just our general mutual agreements here at the table. We can each talk about things that we prefer happen or not happen, and we can just sort of make those rules as players here and now. Cats, if you don't know, are concept, aim, tone, safety, and logistics. The extra little L. Mostly that's just going to be scheduling stuff. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take as many breaks as we can. And then we're going to come back and we're going to really dive into sort of the world and the campaign framework. And this is going to be a chance for me to kind of give you a sense of where we are in this adventure. This is, of course, a follow-up to Series 1, which was The Shattered God, which just finished way back in December, just really recently. But they really kind of just like took the world that we had and like shook it up and just kind of changed everything. So quite a bit has changed. So if you were watching that series and you have a good idea of what the lore is like, it's all changed because you can thank our Shattered God players here on the stream. Now we're going to do another break after some questions. We're going to get into character creation and then some connections between you. And really what we're trying to determine are like, who are you in this world? Where are you from in this world? And why are you in the city that we're starting in Drakarn? There's an accord that's happening, and there's an inciting incident, and we're trying to figure out who you are and why you're there, right? And this is going to be a chance for you all to discuss with each other, talk about classes, talk about who knows who and how you may have intertwined your stories. Once that's all done, we're going to take another break. Did I say break there? If we need to, we'll take up another break, and then we'll come back and we'll do wrap up, and we'll talk about when the next session is going to be, and then we'll just kind of confirm some schedules. I know that I have a lot of your dates if you're planning to be away. I have it all on the form. I'll mark off where we're going to have breaks and where we're going to have one shots. So we'll go from there, and that's that. How's that sound?
Beautiful.
Sounds good.
All right. So let's start with the concept. What kind of story are we telling? I think I put it on the Oathfyre sign-up sheet a little bit, sort of what I was thinking. These things are, in my mind, like a work in progress until we're actually, playing the game. But we talked a little bit about this idea of the pact, right? So all of the kingdoms of Aer'yndor at some point got together and said, peace. And they signed this pact that was witnessed by the gods, ordained by the gods. And the term Oathfyre in and of itself is really a term that indicates the binding magic of a divine pact. When everything that happened last series happened, be it the fall of Lunasra, the entire council that governed under the pact was destroyed, and then all of those gods fell. Somewhere in that line, the pact was broken. The things that happened during the Shattered God happened, and all of the mortals and more were left in this world to live, right? So they started seeing conflicts rising, right? Some of those old habits, like I think we talk a lot about Corvallis being the humans and just always wanting to expand. And we'll get more into the lore of it all, but we have the resurgence of the orcs connected to the elves, and like what dynamic that has in the world. Bringing them into Drakarn, the people of Drakarn, relatively untouched by the Shattering and the Shattered God series, they called everyone in. Now they are a city of immense magic and technology, like just peak civilization, that kind of stuff. They see what's happening in the world. Their new king has called for the Accords to come in and kind of discuss reforming that pact. All right. So this world in and of itself starts there, right? All of these different entities, these delegates are coming in from all of these outside kingdoms into Drakarn with the idea of reaffirming the pact. Now, one of the things with this pact is the original scroll forged in divine fire is important to reforging this pact. Somebody brings that in, it goes missing. And that's really the kicking off point for this adventure. So we're going to have two, assuming that we keep enough people, we're going to have two teams, right? And we're going to talk about what those teams are. I have an idea, but I really want you to feel free to create your characters the way that you want, and then we'll figure out where they fit in the world. In my mind, I like the idea of having like these people that are part of the delegation, people that come in with those delegates from all the different kingdoms, and they are a little bit more of a arbitrators, you could say. They're part of the official party that's directly involved with the Accords. And then we have another group of people that are kind of coming into Drakarn for their own reasons, be it ulterior motives or just to check on things, a little bit more secretive, not necessarily directly part of the Accords. In my mind, that's kind of where I'd like to see it. But I do want to see how you want to build your characters, and we can kind of have that discussion as we get there. So the aim for this, I'm thinking there's going to be combat, right? There's going to be a lot of social interaction, right? A lot of social events, and I don't want to say it's going to be a little bit different for each, but it's going to be generally around the idea of figuring out what happened. All right. And anyone have any questions so far? I'm whizzing through a lot of this because you all have read this on the sign up sheet.
I don't have any
For
questions yet.
outstanding. I take that as I'm doing a great job explaining it. All right. Getting into our lines and veils. I mean, looking through what you all put on the sign up form, a lot of it is pretty basic stuff that we would never get into. I'm going to read through them, and then if there's anything in addition that you'd like to add, please let me know, and then we'll list it. I'll publish some notes from this session, and I'll put it in our group chat. So for lines and veils, this is what we have. The usual stuff, which, yeah, okay. We generally steer clear of like violence against children, but like we did just have a one shot where like there's a monster like chasing kids down, like, you know, nothing horrible, I guess. Generally keeping it kind of PG-13. Anything that has to do with sexual assault of any age group, we'll steer away from. Any real intimate moments, we will fade to black on. Force feeding is one that's on here, and sex romance. Yeah, so that pretty much covers everything that's on this sheet. Does anyone have any that they would like to bring up in addition to? I'm hearing none.
Nope.
When it comes to our overall X card, we've talked about this a few ways. If there's anything that you need from me live in the stream, feel free to message me on Discord. I do my best to keep my eye on it. I have like a million devices in front of me, so somewhere along the way, something will catch my attention. Just shoot me a message. Oh. Did we lose somebody on the stream? I say as I'm looking at Discord.
Zarian disappeared for a second but came back. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
sure if it fixed.
Oh yeah, he's good.
I'm having a weird thing where I don't see Zarian or hear them on Video Ninja.
Oh.
I don't know why that would be, but
They
see
are
them on
muted.
stream.
Have you refreshed
I just
your...
muted.
I can try. I just didn't want it to mess up your
I
stuff.
just
if
can
did.
see
I think I'm on the
Ghost.
same thing, so I can try refreshing as well if that works.
Oh, you can only see Ghost?
I can see everyone except for Zarian.
Oh, that's strange.
Me é que esse everyone except for Ghost.
Oh, except for me. Oh. Okay. Well, maybe just try refreshing your screen, and if you change URLs, I'll pop you back on. No big deal. So, as far as X cards are concerned, maybe I'll wait till they come back.
X
told
cards
everyone-
are important to wait for.
Yeah, I told everyone
And it's
to.
okay to interrupt Ghost to say, "Hey, I need you to check Discord" whenever he's in the middle of something.
Yeah, especially if I'm like monologuing. Please do. I won't stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, we're waiting for Zara again.
Yeah. There's been
Thanks,
so
sorry, I
much
didn't
stuff
wanna
I've been
interrupt
reading,
earlier.
Ghost.
What'd you say, Jen?
There's so much stuff to read, Ghost.
You don't have to. You can just talk about it. I just
What?
wanted to give you all a chance to work on stuff on your own, and that's not even half of it. I have a timeline I have to publish yet. I just but like a part of it is like if you want to get in the weeds, right? If you really want to get in the weeds, there's information for you to dive into. If you don't really have to. Like there's stuff that your characters would never know, right? So if you just like know the state of the world now and like who you are, where you came from while you're there, like that's kind of enough. And then we can fill in the blanks, and if there's something you need to know that your character needs to know that happened long ago, we'll roll for it. No big deal. Okay, so X card, like I said, like you can if you want to be discreet, if you need something, anything, it doesn't need to be X card worthy. If you need a break, if you need to step out, anything, just message me. I usually try to be pretty good about just like narratively like making your character sort of disappear and then come back in another session. But if there's anything that we are talking about that is specifically traumatic for you or triggering for you, if you want to message me on the side, you can. If it's something that's immediately needs to stop, just give us a big X on screen. All right, I'll stop. I'll check in with you. Give us an X, and if you don't want to explain, you don't have to. I will just steer away from whatever is happening in that moment. I usually try not to bring up anything that would be X card worthy, but you just never know. Everyone has different experiences in this life. So no worries at all for the story. We're all here to have fun. And if that stops being fun for somebody, then we don't want to continue on that path. Okay? Cool. I can see Zarya now.
Yeah, me too.
We've met the limit of EDO Ninja. All right. Moving on down to our next bit. So we talked about the tone is going to be it'll probably be a little bit more kind of noir for the folks that are there secretively. There's probably going to be a little bit more maybe a little bit more high fantasy for those who are actually part of the delegates potentially. But I mean, at any point we can cross. At any point, characters can go from one to the other. I like to keep it sort of fast and loose when it comes to the story, just so that I'm not limiting the story that you want to tell, but I am here to guide you along the way. And we talked safety, we talked mood, we talked aim. How does everybody feel now? Does anybody need a break? We're hitting about the 30-minute mark.
Nah.
I think we're good.
Okay. So here's the point in the story that I will read a little bit about where we are in the world. This is I'm going to give you where we are in the world, and I'm going to give you, which I've kind of just done, paraphrasing it, and then I'm going to give you sort of like where we are in the story, and then you all are open to ask questions about where we are in the world. And through the nature of this collaborative process, I may not have the answer, but I am also fully up for you contributing to this world and contributing to the story in any way you see fit. There's so much that's on our webpage right now that you can lean on if you'd like. If there's a group that doesn't exist, you can totally make it. If there's a place that doesn't exist, you can absolutely make it. So play really fast and loose with our lore here. But there's a lot of it. So we're going to talk about that. But before we begin, he said, stalling to get to his notes. We're going to talk a little bit about kind of where we are in the world of Aer'yndor. So 20 years have passed since the Shattering, as it's come to be known. The world was broken, reforged, and left changed in ways that still aren't fully understood. Now, when the Shattered God was defeated and Aer'yndor was reforged, only a fraction of what was lost returned. Nearly 2/3 of the souls taken during that catastrophe ever came back in their original form. Cities survived, borders endured, but families, cultures, and entire generations were left hollowed by absence. In those years prior, the gods themselves also changed. Some fell, others rose. Divine authority fractured, reformed, and no longer feels maybe as distant as it once did. And faith, in the face of that, has almost become political. Like, some worship has become contested. There are people who still believe in the old ways, the old divine order that's gone. Some believe in the new gods, in the new ways. But many kingdoms now ask the same dangerous question. Who now decides the future of the world? Sort of central, south, east, the world watched as Alvathara rose, a nation that probably shouldn't exist by any old measure. This was born of the marriage of Queen Navera of Althwin and the now Orcish god king Throg of Golvathar. Now, together they have joined and reclaimed parts of Valtharos, that sort of central pact land of the continent. And this new nation stands both as a miracle and as a warning. Elves and orcs, once eternal enemies, now rule together beneath a single banner, their bloodlines bound by oath brown. What was once an impossible thought an age ago is now precedent. Alvathara didn't merely claim territories, it reshaped the balance of power. Where Valtharos once stood as a neutral heart of the continent, it's been carved apart by ambition and survival alike. The humans and their ambition expanded and claimed its share of Valtharos, which in and of itself was reduced to little more than its oldest territories, which is like the southern peninsula of Eldrenin, that sort of main continent. Its former authority fractured, its influence is diminished, because there are now those who ask, like, without a pact, what authority do the pact lands even have? So there's territorial tensions that have followed. Human expansion in the Valtharos accelerated, reigniting old disputes over land. The Beastkins of Ragos continue to resist the encroachment of the humans, their conflicts unresolved, growing sharper year by year. The Varkos Isles, which were long dismissed as sort of lawless and ungoverned, now demand recognition as a legitimate power, seeking a seat among kings, rather than the shadow of piracy. And then there's one of the biggest changes to the world, the Fallen Realms. There's only 3 known Fallen Realms, ones that are acknowledged publicly anyways. They're mysterious territories that are now folded into the mortal world. Their presence undeniable, but poorly understood. Beyond that, there are whispers, rumors passed in private chambers, and sealed correspondence. Claims that all divine realms may now exist somewhere in the mortal plane, hidden, overlapping, or deliberately obscured. No proof has been offered, no confirmation made, but the idea alone has unsettled kings, priests, and scholars alike. All of this tension has drawn the world into one place. Drakharn, the pinnacle of arcane mystery and technological wonder, has opened its gates and called these kingdoms together, proposing a new accord, a chance to renegotiate peace in a world where the old rules no longer apply. And beneath it all, a darker rumor circulates. In Zahareth, something ancient has been disturbed. An old temple, long buried, 20 years ago, was opened. And whatever lies beyond it has seeped out and begun to stain the land. Few know its name, fewer still understand its nature, but rumor has surfaced in whispers. And with it, the uneasy sense that this is not merely another political crisis, but the edge of something far older and far worse. This is the world as you enter it. A world straining against old borders, new gods, and unfinished business, gathered now in one place for one fragile chance at peace. Before we get into the sort of inciting incident, does anyone have any questions?
I do. So can you tell us which of the Fallen Realms are currently known in Aer'yndor?
Absolutely. 1 second. One second as I refer to my own website for the lore. All right. So, in my mind, and some of you can let me know if you disagree, as these realms appeared in the land, they were named by mortals. They had names previously, but there's no way for many of those mortals to even know what those names are. Right?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
So, when Vrelith was wiped clean of the corruption, it ceased to exist. And in its place arrived this beautiful garden. More lush than I think it was originally. The mortals themselves call this area Althuriel, but we know it previously as the garden. Now, if you remember the large pit that was left by Aer'yndor, the previous location of the Elvish capital, that pit itself has sunken and become full of like a mist. This is where the glade has landed. Nakthir Lua is the name that was given to it by the mortals. The glade is a realm that was previously held over by, or looked over by Lua, the goddess of the moon, taken over by Oleg, the new god of the moon, and Oleg laid down his divinity and raised a new god. So currently there is no god in that realm. We can talk about that one a little bit later. He laid down his divinity to raise up another mortal, Lena, who was just a child at the time, now 20 years old. Velethrin is her domain. And this is the domain that's kind of in between Zahareth and Drakharn, kind of popped up as a sort of C-shaped island. This is not a realm that we have actually encountered in a previous session. This one has been known as a concordance. This is to the domain of grace. So there's a lot of bards, a lot of artistry, a lot of thespians, just a lot of culture and a lot of imagination and creativity in this realm. Those are the three that are known throughout the mortal realms. There are whispers of some, so if you want your characters to be aware of other ones, we can certainly have that conversation.
I think that very well answers my question, Ghost. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. I know that if you watch the first series, you know of other realms, right? Like we've definitely talked about a bunch. But the general population doesn't know of all of the other ones. So if you are interested in having your character be in the know of any of that, just let me know and we can talk about it. Are there any other questions about the world? Okay. And again, we'll have plenty of time for more questions.
Does any follow word can affect my character? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, say again?
Does any follow word can affect my character the way I wrote for you and the group chat?
Oh, you wrote it in the group chat?
I follow around to take all his magic.
I don't see where you wrote it in the group chat. I'm sorry.
Here, I'll.
Oh, okay, 1 minute.
I just. You can go up from there. Even though technically it pings are in.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Oh yeah, let's when we get to the character creation, we'll talk a little bit more about this because yeah, I am tracking what you're talking about. But you changed some of this from what you had originally posted. But there are a few notes that I think I gave you those notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just hold this one until we get to the character creation part of it because there are some things you can kind of change to sort of fit.
The only thing that was missing was the follow realms.
Okay. Yeah, and we can pick one that'll work for what you want to happen because there are some options. There's two in particular that I'm thinking might work for you, but we'll talk about it when we get there, just so that we can also maybe parlay that into connection questions if it's relevant. And I feel like it might be. So for anyone who's just watching the stream, we are speaking specifically about Zarian has his character already sort of kind of sketched out, and a lot of that deals with interacting with fallen realms, and they are fallen realms that aren't well known across the land. So definitely some really good options for you, and there could be two different routes, but we'll talk about it just to see where you might want to go. Anything else? Okay, I'll finish this little bit off, which is going to be about the adventure itself, and then we can ask some more questions. So this is specifically about the Accord of Drakharn. So the city of Drakharn, which is the Dracona capital, Dracona kingdom. Scarenthal is the capital. They have sort of this peaceful symbiotic relationship with gnomes in the area as well. So you see a lot of gnomes and a lot of Dracona in this area, but certainly you see all of the various races. They have an open border. Everyone kind of gets along. So the city of Drakharn kind of stands alone or just apart from the rest of the world. When the shattering happened, it literally tore Aer'yndor apart. And the gods fell, the realms collided, those souls were stolen, but Drakarn endured. Like their distance from the catastrophe at Vrelith sort of shielded. They were shielded by some generations of arcane innovation. The city generally emerged untouched. The kingdom emerged untouched. Its arcane reactors never faltered. Its infrastructure never collapsed. And while the rest of the world mourned and rebuilt, Drakarn advanced. It's now this pinnacle of arcane technological civilization. Like towering spires of rune-etched steel rising above clouds, humming with regulated magical current beneath streets, arcane reactors thrum like steady hearts powered districts illuminated by sigils that just never dim. You see airships drift between elevated docks, their hulls inscribed with spell circuits and navigational wards, while lifts and rail lines and mechanical gates move thousands with clockwork precision. In this realm, there are firearms. Once experimental curiosities are now openly carried here specifically by police and military forces, fused with arcane stabilizing elements that bind spellcraft and powder into something efficient, devastating, and unmistakably modern. The magic in Drakarn is not just mythic, it's also engineered. And it's here, deliberately here, that the world has been summoned, right? Like from every corner of Aer'yndor, delegates arrive. There's monarchs, there's ministers, archmages, generals, priests, scholars, emissaries, observers. Some arrive beneath the banners in ceremony. Others come quietly, cloaked in discretion, secrecy, or ulterior motive. They all arrive carrying the weight of old grievances, unhealed wounds, and fragile hopes. And at the center, the gathering is a relic of another age, an ancient scroll believed to contain the original terms of a long-forgotten pact has been brought to Drakarn from what remains of Veltharos. Now, to some, it's just a symbol, but to others, it's proof of legitimacy. To many, it's the last tangible link to a time when borders were agreed upon, wars were restrained, and divine authority enforced consequences. But the purpose of the gathering is simple in concept, but dangerous in practice. To renegotiate that pact once thought lost to history. This was a pact forged in an earlier age. The original agreement was meant to stabilize those borders and restrain the war, hold the whole place together. And as I said, it faded after the shattering. And now with those territories contesting and divine authorities fractured, that world standing at the crossroad is trying to prevent the next great war. Peace, if it can be called that, is fragile. As these delegates come in, among those delegates in Drakarn, few openly speak about it, but they're aware of Alvathara, which we previously discussed. They stand as the most powerful kingdom of New Aer'yndor. Some see them potentially as a stabilizing force. Others see them as sort of an inevitable enemy. Their presence have sort of changed the nature of what this was meant to be. Old treaties never accounted for alliances like this, never imagined a world where gods would fall and realms would shift and ancient enemies become sovereign equals. And so the questions before the Accord are no longer sort of theoretical. Who has the right to govern? Who decide what lands belong to whom? What happens when power moves faster than peace? What happens when the gods aren't here to save us? This is the world gathering in Drakarn. So as we gather on the second day of the Accord, something impossible occurs. This vault is opened. All of its arcane wards are intact, its technological seals unbroken. And the scroll at the heart of the negotiations is gone. No alarms, no spells unraveling, no witnesses. And with an already unsteady peace, suspicion spreads faster than panic. Every faction demands answers, every delegation demands a voice. From the chaos, a neutral body is formed. Pieces of each delegation form the arbiters, tasked with uncovering the truth, preserving what little trust remains. And at the same time, certain figures are quietly pointed at. Whispers become accusations, and those accused, whether guilty or not, are forced into the shadows, fleeing not from justice, but towards it. So this is the story that we're stepping into. A city untouched by catastrophe, a world reshaped by loss, and a single missing relic upon which the future may turn.
Where did you say, or did you say where the pact, the ancient scroll, was found or brought from?
I didn't say, but I can definitely share that with you. So how this worked was, for those of you who don't know, the Shattered God was fueled by the souls of the mortals. He stole a bunch of souls. The heroes of that series freed those souls. And one of the new gods, which were our players, which this one specifically was Jen, made a wish that they could all come back if they wanted in the form. They were all freed from the Shattered God, and they could go where they wanted in the forms that they wanted. Later, I had Jen roll to determine how many of them came back, and the answer was 35%. So 35% of the people came back. And then I rolled for all of the Council of Seven, and only one of them survived. Isolde Vaymar, unfortunately, who has been a NPC in this world since it started in the worst possible way. She survived, and she commissioned a dig to find this particular relic in the ruins of Lunesra. Now, Lunesra is no more, but Lunesra falls outside of what Valthros currently is. Valthros is really just that sort of final peninsula in the south. So they're coming there with the most powerful relic, something really, really important to the Accords, but they're coming with very little authority. All of their power came from the Pact lands that were created as that seventh seat, and they really don't exist. They shouldn't exist in many of the kingdom's eyes because that pact is gone. You may see something like the humans and the Alvatharans kind of arguing over who's supposed to be the one picking apart that land. So they came with it and trusted the delegation from Drakharn to keep it safe.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem. Does anyone have any other questions about the adventure as we get into character creation and connections? We're good? Okay. And as we get through the character creation and you want to figure out where in the world, I'm sure we'll have lots of conversations. But let's do this. We're coming up on 55 minutes on the stream. So why don't we take 5? Take a break, get something to drink, come on back nice and refreshed, and then we'll talk a bit about it. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody, sit tight. We will be right back. Bye. And we are back. Thank you for hanging out and waiting for us. We are talking. I almost said the Shatter God. It's old habits. Oathfyre. We're talking Oathfyre. Select your character. Session 0, and that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna stop talking for a bit, and I'm gonna let you all kind of talk about your ideas for your characters. Maybe you can start discussing connection questions. We have a lot of. Let me start by saying this. Normally, we do session zeros are sort of like a hybrid thing. We do so much of it online in Discord, and then we kind of come here with a fully fleshed out idea, and we just say, "Hey, this is my character." This time is a little bit different because there's so much time until session 1. I wanted to hit this earlier so that you could come here and be like, "This is kind of what I feel," but like maybe like kind of play off each other. Pick some classes and just sort of see how we can kind of jive together. So I'm going to stop talking. I am going to start with, again, in group action role tradition, upper left, which is Sage. If you want to talk a little bit about what you are thinking for your character, we can go from there. And then once we're going to go through everybody, once you kind of all have had a chance to kind of put your ideas out there, start asking each other questions to flesh it out, and then we can talk about connections. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So I have some news for those of you who were in the Festival of Light and Sky one shot. I am bringing back my character from that one shot. I'm gonna be playing Emerald. This was a really tough one.
Amazing.
Right. I'm so excited. I was really excited. I haven't done this before, and I mean, I've never played a child in D&D before, or Daggerheart or any TTRPG.
Aww.
So, I'm really excited to be playing Emerald and to show you guys all of the character development that I think has been happening during these 20 years. So I have some ideas. I don't know how much I should share, how much I shouldn't share.
That is completely up to you. Share what you know you're okay sharing, and then see how you feel.
I can't hear you, Ghost.
Yeah, you're muted.
He said he would be quiet.
I was practicing
yeah.
good mute discipline, and of course, share with the group whatever you feel comfortable with, but just be specific with the things that you don't want their characters to know. Maybe keep it all a surprise.
Yeah, this is kind of hard. So, depending upon how we end up splitting our party, my character Emerald, who is now going by the pseudonym M, is going to be a part of the secret not so delegation ish. So I don't know. I feel like I may know better how much I want to share after I hear a little bit from other people. I will say that my character, so Emerald in the Festival of Light and Sky, for those of you who don't know, Emerald is a ghost and comes from a little mountainside kind of town called Ghost Break. in the Festival of Light and Sky, they celebrate something that is called Plasmia, where they light these green lanterns at what is called the Shrine of Unknowing. And this is kind of a little bit of Emerald's backstory from the Festival of Light and Sky. So Ghostbreak is entirely made of ghosts. It's an entirely ghost city. Not really a city, more so a town, pretty small. I don't think anybody would really know anything about Ghostbreak. Emerald as a character is a witch, so I'm going to be playing a moon witch who primarily or only works with the Dread cards. And I'm going to be trying to incorporate some spooky elements into this. Something strange is happening at Ghostbreak. I will say that in the Festival of Light and Sky, I introduced the concept of Emerald's adoptive parents. So Emerald does not remember who they were in their past life, and was adopted by their adoptive father in Ghostbreak. And something has happened with Emerald's father in Ghostbreak that has led Emerald on this journey that has eventually led them to the Accord in Drakarn. And I feel like that's all I should share for now. Just give a little bit of a backstory, things that are kind of going to be incorporated, and then I guess we'll see how much more I would like to share about Im.
Outstanding.
Nice.
All right, Sean.
All right, so yeah, I am going to be playing a orc bard who about 20 years ago, after the shattering, ended up living with the dwarves in how do you pronounce it?
Belgar?
Or the city or whatever, Valkerheim or
Oh yeah, Velkerheim, the capital city. of
Valkerheim.
Belgar. Yep.
Okay. So he ends up living in the capital city of Valkerheim with the dwarves, which is very awkward because he's an orc living with dwarves and everything is too small for him. And people that brought him in, or the person that brought him in, is an advisor for the delegates, or like what would be the delegate, and something happened to his the person that brought him in, and he was training to take over the position because they were going to be retiring anyway, and something happened, got killed somehow, still figuring things out, but so my character will be taking over as one of the advisors for the delegate going to this meeting.
And then specifically for the so living with the dwarves, the dwarven delegate will be the High King Durnik Stonebreaker, whose brother died. His brother was Baelor Stonebreaker, the one who made Sage's character for Ashes of Tomorrow. Died in Lunasra during the Shattering. Was one of the Council of Seven. The king himself is fine and dandy, a little bit older. He is a dwarf. And your character would be accompanying the king.
Cool.
Yeah, and do you have an idea of what happened to the guy who sort of took you in, or are you still kind of working that stuff out? Or you want to keep it secret?
Yeah, generally have an idea, but we can discuss. I've been working on a few things.
All right. If you want to, by all means, we can talk about it. If you want to keep it sort of under your hat, that's cool too. And what a fine hat that is too.
Oh, thank you. You can find it at so I was thinking either yeah, we'll talk about it offline, I think.
Okay. All right. I know that you had floated some ideas, and the time frame the time jump, I think, kind of messed up your plan, but
yeah, I kind of reworked a few things, but yeah, I'll figure all that out and rewrite it and send you even more things.
All right. And you said your class, right?
Yes, Bard.
bard. That's right.
Wordsmith.
Ooh, my favorite. All right, Jen, what do you got?
Hi. My character's name is Mist. She is a goblin, Infernus, mixed ancestry. I'm kind of. My husband gave me an idea earlier, and it's been making me think about a whole bunch of different things. My main issue for me right now is figuring out where in the world she would have been as an Infernus, like, goblin mix, like ancestry. Where in the world would she be?
I mean, she can be anywhere you want her to be. That said, do we have? I don't have. I apologize. I don't have all the lore up on the website yet. It's been a week, but Zahareth is where most of the Infernus live here, and then the goblins as well. The goblins sort of exist in that southern sea area, so they can be anywhere in the Varkos Isles, or I mean, they can literally be anywhere. But the most of them appear in the Varkos Isles and in Zahareth.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry. I just needed to know that because I was sitting here and I was looking through. I don't know why I didn't ask you previously so I could actually plan a little more. Because I was sitting here and I was like looking at all these little settlements you have, you know, and all the different factions and groups within the different like areas, and I'm like, I don't know where she is. So,
well,
good to know.
Think about what you want that settlement to be, and then find a place for it. You can plop it anywhere you want.
Make it myself.
Yeah, 100%.
She was gonna be a witch. She might still be a witch, hedge witch. But the new vibe I'm getting in my mind of her is kind of making me feel brawler.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, she's yeah. I don't really have anything else for her. Right? Well, I have her whole backstory that made her who she is, but I don't want to share all of that right now because
everyone has
I
all
like
their
for
secrets.
people to inquire. She is very secretive. So there is that. I will tell you that. But yeah, she's a little bit of a mystery. But yeah.
Oh, this
a little
reminds me
moody
of.
too. Sometimes.
So
Going
one
outside
thing,
of my happy-go-lucky comfort zone.
the only other goblin settlement we have, and again, feel free to make up your own, which we don't have on the map yet, which is something I need to do, is all of your Festival of Light and Sky settlements where your children came from. Sean's character, Nar, came from Yiklar. Yiklar? Am I saying that right?
I don't know. I didn't have a pronunciation. I just random thing.
Just wrote letters.
It's always different when you say it out loud.
It's up to you.
Okay. So, I mean, you could come from that community, but that's the only other goblin community outside of Ghostbreak that we have currently.
Maybe my
You could know
character
Nar.
and his character were friends.
We're making connections with characters that aren't
Previous characters.
I love that though. And you never know when Nar could like suddenly appear. Cool.
You never know. They're friends now.
All right, so so you have a little bit more that you're trying to flesh out, but well, you said you have the whole backstory, you just don't want to share it, right?
Yeah, because it's hopefully people want to know it in the story, like in the game.
Mhm.
But I mean, she has a reason why she's mysterious. I was looking into the what is it? I really liked. I don't know how to pronounce this. Okay, the one that goes after the beings that escaped from the place that Echo accidentally led into the world. The warrior monks at Aer'yndor. I was thinking about that.
Oh, that would be good. That's the Idolinare.
Idolonare.
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 That's
Okay.
another one of those ones that you write and then you say it for the first time on stream and you're like blah blah. Idolonare. Yeah. So they were the ones that came from the last pilgrimage. They were not as widespread as they pretty much had died out. And then you all who were in the last pilgrimage did what you did, and now out of necessity, they were tasked with protecting this prison of sorts, and you inadvertently opened the door to it, and that's why our little sprite from Light and Sky came out. So that was shortly after the Shattered God, I think. So now there's been a lot more time for that to sort of spill out into the world. So the Idolonare have sort of recruited a little bit more. So we have the sort of warrior monk faction. And if you look at the website, there's sort of on the map, there is a factions and groups part that's underneath like the global Aer'yndor tab. Those are people that exist everywhere. They're not in one particular place. So the Idolonare can literally be everywhere. Like they're just roaming, looking for that stuff. So cool.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's all I have for her.
All right, let's jump over to Fargrim.
I am playing a fairy named Jean.
Nice.
I'm playing a beastbound ranger with a flying beetle named Juice.
Jean and Juice.
Yes. All of my... This will be full of references. As a fairy, I am a moth, mostly like moth humanoid person. With autumn-colored, like fluff around the collar, the wings, full pattern. The reason why I call my pet Juice, because his species is a delicacy. I refused to eat him when I was starving as a child. I'm also a pirate, and I long the ocean again. I gave Ghost some options into, well, I should say former pirate. I gave Ghost options for like how former or why former. Like, was I shipwrecked and thought everybody died, or did we just give up the crew? But yeah, I'm a Mothman ranger.
Cool, I like that. And there's this idea that like we spent like a little bit of time in the garden, this authorial place. But like when the world was sort of torn asunder and reforged, and those new realms were kind of brought into the mortal plane, like there's a lot to be explored around, like what effect did that have on the creatures of that realm. So I mean, there very well may have been moth people in the garden before that, but do you feel like this could be the result of being in the mortal plane over the last 20 years where they kind of took this form? There's also, like, we established that there were some gardeners, as we've been calling them, who had a settlement outside of the garden in the mortal plane before that. And that came from the Carvos Keep one shot. So he could have been here already. And then been sailing in a pirate crew in the Varkos Islands. Totally up to you on how you want to play that.
So you associate the garden with your IE Pharaoh?
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really what it was in concept when we started. But I mean, we also have this idea that like the beast there may have been sort of an evolutionary sort of an idea way back when some of the gardeners came into the real world. Like Jen's character Echo was somebody who could spot and use these portals that came between realms. So there was some crossing over really early on, and so there could have been existing people around. So I'll completely leave it to you on how you want to play that. If they came here in the last 20 years or if they were already existing. But if the pirate crew, the Farkos Islands are prime pirate area. They are trying to legitimize a little bit, but they are certainly still, there's still a lot going on there.
Okay, give me a lot to think about. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So let's jump on over to Aaron. What's happening?
Hey, so for decades, I play anti-authoritarian wild people. I would like to do something a little different. So I want to do a human highborn who is the crown prince of Corvallis.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Or grand, I don't know, like the timing is a little bit because it's like 20 years since.
Let's talk about Corvallis.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely some, I have been thinking about this a little bit. So we have some characters in Corvallis currently. So Alistair Thorncrest is the king, and he's been the king for a while. And he's a human. He was kind of old.
Right.
I don't know that we actually said his age, but I know that Jen, you and I talked about him being a little bit more advanced in years, and his wife was a bit younger, and she was like cheating on him with all these people. So the lore that we have is that one of the people that she was eyeballing was the lover of one of Jen's characters, Emily Pond.
Oh.
And the queen was sort of jealous and had Emily thrown away into prison. But since then, Emily came back and sort of told the king everything. The king absolutely believed her because I forget what you rolled. I think it was a critical success or something. And he got rid of her. We didn't really say what he did exactly, but so he has been an elderly bachelor these last 20 years. Emily has been very much one of his main counsel, and one of the characters, the NPCs that were taken by the Shattered in that series, Garen, came back when the Shattered God was defeated. He is also giving counsel. I had it in my head that he didn't have any heirs. However, that's not canon in any way, shape, or form. There is a question of who would be next in line for that throne, and you could certainly make that be your character of any parentage that you thought would be great.
So to get into the more emotional elements of the character, what I was thinking to play was actually the second son, who was more of a playboy, dilettante, like good looking, wasn't expecting to take any kind of authority, but then his brother suddenly, disappears, like, and is like off or under mysterious circumstances. So he's kind of thrust into this position of like, okay, you're probably going to have to, take up this responsibility and get serious. And so he feels very guilty about that. And he's genuinely good person, but is like that's kind of like, so if Corvallis doesn't work, it could be a different, it could be a different kingdom.
I think Corvallis is perfect because I'm perfectly okay with killing off Alistair Thorncrest. He was kind of on the way out. Like I have him kind of in my mind as being like he's kind of on the way out anyway, so he's relying on his advisors to kind of like to run everything. But I really like the idea of him passing and then having this sudden, unexpected heir. So totally on you. We can say that he had sons. It makes sense he had wives, right?
Yeah.
You tell me who his brother was, and we'll write that into canon. It doesn't, his name doesn't have to be Thorncrest. If you want him to be like the bastard child of whatever, then that's fine too.
Okay, I'll start syncing some stuff up. But yeah, that's basically what he is. He's the emotional core of him. He's very guilty about not being prepared and not being ready for this. So I think he'd be part of the delegation. He'd be wanting to prove himself and ensure this. But then also he's got this issue of like Corvallis is kind of, they're on their, with the elves and the orcs being aligned and Corvallis having kind of a bad reputation with their expansion, he's got some, he's got a lot on his shoulder. So that's what I wanted to kind of take on as a character. And guardian, stalwart guardian is what I'm hoping to do. But warrior call of the brave would be okay, because no matter how hungover he was, no matter what, he went to sword practice every day.
Okay, awesome. if you were traveling with the delegation, if you were suddenly the prince, you would probably be with Emily or Garen. We can talk about who that is. I can see Jen being like, "You're not going to make me play a bunch of characters, are you?" You won't have. You can just be your character. But so just something to think about it, like what your delegation looks like if you are the delegate from Corvallis. I really like that.
Okay, cool. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome. All right, jumping on down to Jason Dean.
Yeah. So I was thinking of playing a sort of traveling performer style character. Mechanically, though, I think he's a rogue. I don't think he's a very successful performer.
Okay.
And kind of the idea of him is that he's like the gods' favorite joke. The whole purpose of him is everywhere he goes, he has the worst luck he's ever had. He tends to be moving around mostly because wherever he last was, something horrific happened. Something went wrong, whether he like tried to have a performance and a bunch of people got hurt, or he accidentally knocked down the stables or something like that, and everyone's mad at him, he has to run away and go off somewhere else. And so he's become more of a thief and a con man than the performer he wanted to be. I think I was going to do either human or like a elf-human mixed ancestry, half-elf style. I was going to have him be probably from around Corvallis, just because of its kind of placement and what I was mostly reading about it. But I think he's been traveling for a very long time. Mid to late 20s, so he was very young when the shattering and all that kind of stuff happened, so he at least pretends not to remember any of it. Or not talk that much about the earlier parts of his life. And then one of the things I was reading about was the Gilded Saints as one of the like world-sized groups that not much is known about, and their kind of like clandestine nature and the I don't know. There was only so much. I didn't read too much into it because I didn't think he was that involved, but I think he has like had run-ins with them, as he's like kind of one of the only things he's decently good at is thievery and stuff like that. And anytime he's ever had a chance to prove himself either to somebody who would in any way be part of something like that, or any other like actually skilled thief or group, he's failed his kind of initiation and had to keep on the move. But that he has kind of touched with a lot of these groups around that might be good at stuff like that. I think he spent a good amount of time in the Varkos Isles and stuff like that with the pirates, semi-captive, semi-friend, giving bad performances and stuff. All that kind of thing.
Really cool. I like that a lot. Shoot, something I was going to tell you, which I lost. Oh, the guild. So the Gilded Saints are sort of this idea of like not really. They're not like followers of Helmalion, the god of light and splendor. They're really the sort of like they recognize that he was a rogue, and like the lore of this particular god is that he was somewhat like them, and so they just sort of cling to that. That's why their symbol is like the broken splendor emblem. Not really directly affiliated with Helm, however, I think they sort of use that a little bit to their advantage. So they are one of those like worldwide networks, but I feel like you hit the nail on the head that like I think they're all loosely associated. Like I do think it's like sort of this idea of a loose association wherever you go, but you can go into a city and you can find a place and you can sit there and kind of feel like you have a brotherhood, but maybe they're not like super trustworthy. They're not super connected. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking of it kind of as the the classic roguish guy who doesn't have a lot of contacts because everyone likes him. He just knows a bunch of people who maybe dislike him slightly.
Very
which,
nice.
Can have its ups and downs. But yeah, I think that was most of what I got.
All right, outstanding. Some additional things that we'll talk about. Actually, I'll just put it out here now so that as you're thinking about your characters, we can talk about it a little more. We've been kind of playing it fast and loose with what level we're going to start at. And I know that some of you haven't played Daggerheart before. Some of you have, a lot of you have, right? So the idea that I'm having currently, or my thought right now, is to start at level 5. So that you all can multi-class if you'd like, which I feel like might be a good opportunity for you. I'm not. You're supposed to try to keep your like, domain cards and your cards sort of separate, so it's a good mix. And we'll start talking about who's in what group as we develop these characters a little further. So it's just really within your groups, try to keep a good mix. If you're having duplicate cards of somebody else in the overall party, that's fine. And then for where you're from, yeah, I think Corvallis is a great opportunity. There's a relatively new music institute, the College of Forms, that's been started by Emily Pond over there, doing the work to bring music to the children of Corvallis, so they all don't end up being like, really rigid ironclad soldiers their entire lives. But that's a great opportunity. Also, it's close enough where you could say, as a half elf, Valtheros is right there as well, and probably is a little less militaristic than Corvallis is still very much Iron Law and all that good stuff. It has softened a little bit with, I think, Garen and Emily's influence on the king, and the king's getting a little older in his age. I also understand that the upcoming prince might not be quite as rigid as his father, but we don't really know for sure. So I guess we'll find out when the delegation arrives. So some thoughts that you all could have, and maybe a potential connection there as well.
Oh, yeah.
I may have a minor connection from, if you're in your mid-20s, from back when you were a kid, that we can talk about separately.
Hell yeah. In that vein, I was also thinking for... Oh yeah, for Fargrim. For Jean, if you were a former pirate and if something awful happened to your ship, Benjen is his name, Benjen Halwood, could very easily have been the reason why a ship went down or something like that at sea, because he's very bad luck.
That's
interesting. If you want someone to blame and a guy that was there in a connection, he's always good for that.
I might did you back on that?
Oh yeah.
Let me see my connection.
You also have this idea that would you say something like you're the god's joke or something like that, or the god's
favorite joke.
God's favorite joke. There is this idea of the goddess of balance, who I'm going to put all this on the website, so you don't have to remember all this, and I'll give you notes. But the goddess of balance was raised by Oleg when he gave up his divinity. Lena was a child who kind of brought Sean's character Dar to life, and then one of Oleg's final things was to raise up Lena to the goddess of balance when she was a child. Now she's 20 years old. He's very much a living god. One of the first things she did to balance it was reorganize all of the gods, so they all are aligned to domains of Daggerheart, and Lena herself is the goddess of balance and grace. And I feel like there's something there to be like the joke of inserting Benji, you said? Inserting Benji into places to cause catastrophe, but maybe it's balancing something that we don't know.
Yeah, I would love for it to be like some way like divinely enforced, that it always comes back to bite him.
I'm gonna have to remember this, and you'll have you like roll with advantage and or disadvantage based on the situation. Outstanding. Okay, Zarian.
My character, his name is Kalius Krovkin. I'm kinda trying to make a Dracona / Clank because his encounter with Fallow Realm. He's a noble. He used to be a noble, but because the Fallow Realm, his father sent his servants to kill him, but instead they sold him to a settlement to be a gladiator. Let me see the name. Chirixis is a lawless settlement where crime runs free. Then he stayed there fighting as a gladiator for 15 years, trying to survive there. But After this 15 years, kind of sorcerer from the continuum brought him and start to make experiments with him. But little before the events that you mentioned about the pact, something happened in the laboratory and he escaped. So he's probably or in the sewers or hiding in some abandoned place. So maybe a character finds him and they start the adventure.
Okay, so noble birth, sort of. You said his father called for him to be assassinated.
Yeah, because he is supposed to be his heir. He's supposed to be a sorcerer, but because of his encounter with a fallen realm, he lost the ability, how should I say, channel magic. So he can't channel magic anymore. And he also he's lost his queen's skin, it's the symbol of his house. Now his scales are all obsidian scales. That's why his father tried to kill him. Because House Kraken is influential and continue. That you said is one of the noble house advisors or Daggerheart.
Okay, and your house is part of the continuum, which is sort of that noble house run committee, sort of the nobles of Scarenthal, the capital of Daggerheart, sort of talk to the way that they talk to the king. They're their own assembly, separate from the Arcanum assembly, that try to give their influence in that way. When it comes to the fallen realm that your character fell into, you could certainly say, I don't think the Veil of Stillness would do it. I think Narketh maybe would be a good one, which was the former Shattered Realm. But there is also another unknown place that I think would be a better fit, that maybe your character didn't know what it was. It just was a horrible place. How did they get out of it?
Maybe the service found him in all blood in some place or Daggerheart after he followed in the fallen realm.
Okay, there is a bit of like instability in this particular area. I'm being very vague because I don't want to like reveal a whole lot to you guys about this one particular place. It is the place that the last pilgrimage folks opened a long time ago, and there's some instability with that area. So having your character sort of fall into it, experience horrible things, and then sort of fall out of it, I think that is within the realm of things. And then maybe when your body returned here, that's where you were found and taken to that arena, that sort of like battle area. And we need to set that up. You said you named it, right? We have to set that up on the map as well.
Yeah, Scalius Krovkin.
And actually, if you would be open to it, I think it might be cool to have it be in the Varkos Isles, which is like right next to Daggerheart. I feel like it's a little bit more like smuggled you away that way. You know, Daggerheart itself is a pretty small island, so maybe like just off of the island, there's another little island where there could be this sort of like seedy thing going on, sort of outside of the jurisdiction of the Imperium. I think that would be sort of a cool thing. Jen, I'm sorry, I did take sharing away from a bunch of stuff, and then I never made one for this group. I will 100% make a new group for this group, but in the meantime, I will turn sharing back on for those of you who are in other ones, and I'll make a group as well.
It's not urgent, you know.
Well, if you're working on your character now, I just want to make sure that you have everything you need. Does anyone not have access to the Daggerheart material and need it sort of sooner rather than later?
I have my own PDF and physical book. But if we have a demi playing thing, that'd be awesome.
All right, what I'll do is I'll turn on you all in the various places that I have you, and then those who I don't have, I'll just push a link, and then we can work on getting everybody in the same group. But until then, you'll at least have access to it. So, I think that is everybody. Okay. Outstanding. I'm gonna jump over to Zira.
Alrighty. Well,
And then Zarian, if you wouldn't mind just muting for me, I'd appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
When the garden came to Aer'yndor, it was a strong change for not just the folks on the mortal side of the realm, but also the folks who'd lived in the garden for quite some time, and some of them decided to go out and see the world. I'm going to be playing a Firbolg druid, who is a cartographer, an explorer, who has heard wonderful things about a Collegium Cartographica, and largely right now is just out here trying to find out what is different, what sort of things they can take back to their community in the garden, and what sort of fun animals they can find to change into which they haven't tried before.
Outstanding. So your character is here solely like not for the pact, the delegation, really just coincidentally here for like knowledge seeking then.
I think so, yeah. No, with the split you're given.
Oh, really cool. I like that. I think there's definitely room for a lot of that too. Like there's a lot of things happening in this area, and I think it's become much more central to trade in the region too, just based on their advanced technology and like just being relatively unscathed from the shattering, though it was 20 years ago. How do you feel? Actually, no. I won't ask you that. I have some thoughts. Is there anything that you've heard from any other character that you could maybe see a connection?
Several. So, currently nameless Firbolg druid, because they're probably still trying to work that one out too, suddenly being in a place where names are a little bit different. Has been traveling for a long time. Might have run across God's Mistake. Might have spent some time, honestly, stowing away on a ship. Everyone needs a ship's cat, right? And so I may have run into Jean. And I have been informed that that my character might have a very strong chance of having a link to Christians. So I'm excited to find out about that.
All right. Well, why don't we finish it off, and then we can just talk connections all around. What do you say? Outstanding. Thank you. All right, Teacup.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a name. I'm going to be playing Diplopia Lucient. However, you don't have to remember that. You can just call me Dipper. Dipper is an elf who was very, very young when the shattering happened, and their soul ended up in the Shattered God and was part of the souls that returned. Something else came along with it. A little tiny spark of something. So I am going with a mixed ancestry of Aetheris and elf. Originally an elf with a little spark of something thrown in. If you guys know astral elves from D&D, this is kind of the vibe. I have light purple skin, really long white hair that's pulled back in a half pony. I've got very lithe figure, but very muscly despite that. When I came back, and I've got galaxies in my eyes. I don't have normal eyes. I've got big old galaxies in my eyes. I wear giant glasses and that have a crack over one of the lens, big circle glasses, to kind of hide my face a little bit. Although very funny, when I take them off, I'm incredibly beautiful. My character has been hearing a voice in the stars that speaks to him when he takes his trances. And he's been wandering around, following this voice where it chooses to go. And sometimes that leads him to a cat stuck in a tree. Sometimes that leads him to protecting a kid from a bear attack. And sometimes that leads him to the city that I'm forgetting the name of now. I have it written down. Daggerheart, where there is a lot of stuff going on. I'm getting a call over there. I wouldn't say that I'm well known, but I'd say that there's probably some folk legends here or there about me. Just people who have interacted with me, who I've been able to help out, which is why I think it might be good with Zira's character, who's out wandering around. I could very easily see us wandering around together, helping people.
I mean, you did say you got a cat out of a tree.
I did say I got a cat out of a tree.
Who knows what that cat was?
The same cat that was on the ship.
Oh, and I am going with a seraph, specifically a divine wielder. So I've got all this like heavy armor that's been patched together and sort of crafted throughout my wanders. And I've got this big old rusty axe that I keep with me that I use to chop down trees to make firewood when it's a late night in the forest. But it can get a little spark of divine energy and go flying away from me to help defend people when needed.
Awesome. Outstanding. Love that. You had asked a question in chat earlier while we were getting set up, and it was about the gods. Is that what it was?
I think somebody had asked me which god would I worship. I kind of want to keep it like I don't know. It's this spark that's been thrown into me. The voice that I'm hearing, it's not even words. It's like reading the stars when I'm trancing. I figured that could be something fun for you to play with, Ghost.
Oh, I have some ideas for sure.
Cool. If you want me to be more specific, of course, but if you are cool with taking that part, that's cool with me too.
Yeah, no, I guess my question for you is, like, this spark present as another personality or another voice or just an existence of another entity that you can communicate with?
I'd say the stronger choice would be a voice. That way you could roleplay it. Okay. If you want to. But the way I imagine it happening is, like, I'm trancing, I'm reading the stars, it tells me which direction I need to go in. I go there and I find people who are in trouble and need help.
Okay. So not something that's like trying to influence you while you're like eating breakfast or whatever. Like you have to specifically focus to call on that voice.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I won't be a nuisance to you then. All right. I mean, I'm sure I will in other ways, but
that could change very easily. This thing could just be like, no, I'm just going to talk to you now. But
interesting. Yeah. All right. I like that. I have some thoughts, but you and I can talk about what you're thinking, and then, sure, we'll go with whatever you are more comfortable with. There's all kinds of opportunity for story there. So now that you have all heard each other's ideas, we have another player, Ian, who is the imp on our chat. They unfortunately had something come up. They couldn't be here today. I do believe they're still going to be in the session, so we should have 5 and 5 as far as our party is concerned. Before we get connected, let me ask you, do you feel like we have enough on either side of that, like arbiter, shady figure people, like official party and unofficial, like people that just happen to be there or wandered on to Daggerheart versus the delegates that came in from Daggerheart? Do we have enough on either side to keep it balanced, or should we find another way to separate us?
That is a good question. I was trying to figure that out as everybody was talking. I think we only have 2 confirmed delegates. We have a couple that could have like intermingled with someone who is going to be a delegate at some point, and they're like, oh, actually, how about you come with me, because you're nice and helpful, and that'd be great, So
But when I
there's a
say official,
cohort
when I say official party, I guess it doesn't need to be like oh, you came from one of the kingdoms to be here. You just sort of got you got mixed up in the proceedings in some way, shape, or form. You could be a guard. You could be one thing or another. Something put you in the room with those official people, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you are royalty or something like that.
I think Benjamin's a very wrong guy, wrong place person. So it's you could totally end up in that group even if he doesn't like, naturally fall.
Actually, we could actually have a lot of fun with that whole looking for the bathroom, walk through the wrong door. Now you're standing there, and you're like, oh,
Love it.
sense.
That was supposed to be
I
it.
didn't know what to do, so I just stood there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He's one of those people, if you ask him if he knows something, he will say yes. But whatever the answer is isn't right. It's just whatever he is making up at the moment.
And
He's been
Jason
everywhere.
Dean, I sent you a message in Discord.
Oh, great.
I don't know if you saw it. But I was thinking that Immovable Rod and I probably have met at least at some point.
Yeah, I was thinking the
Being
same thing.
kind of like, I'm sure Corvallis and the dwarves have had some kind of meetings together and stuff, and I'm sure we know each other through that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
sure.
There is this other idea too with the Varkos Isles are been primarily like this sort of rogue state. Like they exist between the powerhouse that is Drakarn and then the ambitious Corvallis people. So there's been a lot of over the years prior to the shattering, there was always a lot of contention to them about this sort of contested area that is the Varkos Isles, and that's really what brought all of that piracy and that sort of lawlessness. Flashing forward to where we are now, and them trying to seek out some kind of legitimacy. I could see any of our pirate-born characters trying to be on that delegation, as rough as it is, and trying to be there to petition for the legitimacy of the Varkos Isles, if that
I would
interests
love
anybody.
to do that.
You want to do that?
I would love to do that, yeah.
And you can play it like oh, we got our shit together, or you can pretty much play it like we definitely did not get our shit together, but we still want to be like one of you. And I think that's going to be a big thing with all of this, is there's so many new pieces to this world that just saying like, oh, the original 6 kingdoms is not going to be enough. So you can play with that a bit.
So, a pirate like ambassador?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And you can give yourself any ridiculous title you want. I am intergalactic ambassador of whatever. The piratier, the better. I'll leave that to you.
At first, I was thinking that Zarian might be in the room, but now I'm like, with the whole assassination attempt and everything, I don't know if Zarian would be in the room.
Yeah, he's got some political baggage.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work.
I don't know. I don't think I have any information on Ian's character yet, so there may be some potential there as well. But I think that we'll stick with the idea for now, and if we need to find a different way to separate you all, I'll make it work narratively and not so much like thematically.
He's
If that
in
makes
this
sense.
note for everyone else, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Who, me?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, he's frozen.
I am.
No?
Am I okay?
Not for me.
I'm not okay for you.
I can see
I
you.
can.
You're
I
moving
can
fine for
see
me.
Ghost.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's an hour and 55 minutes into the stream. Why don't we take a quick 5-minute break? Get drinks. Hopefully everyone's internet or my internet figures itself out, and we'll be back in 5. Sound good?
Cool.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be back. Bye-bye.
Cool.
And we're back. Oh, I should have looked first because... Oh, no, it's just Jen.
No.
I got to repaste your settings, Jen. So we got talking offline and we got a little carried away, but we're back now.
We
So in
planned
this
the whole
section-
thing.
And we're done. So thank you for hanging out. So in this section, we're just going to talk a bit about... I want to talk more about the connection questions you get in your character sheet. If you didn't see it, I did post a... not Discord, Demiplane group in our Discord channel that you can go in there. I'll approve you, and then I'll share all of our stuff with you, all of the materials. I think I need to refresh. So if you need the core rules, you can get them that way if you don't have them already. When you make that character sheet, you get some questions. What is it? The details page?
Yes,
It's an
details near the third one down.
experiences.
Connections.
And I think not knowing what group you're in, I think is okay for now. Let's just talk who you want to be connected to, and maybe your paths are going to cross regardless. I do kind of... a couple things. First off, we're saying yes, we're going to do level 5, so you have the opportunity to multi-class. If you were watching the Shattered God, we are not going to increase our level quite as quickly, because the other thing I wanted to really check in with you all about is the timing of it. Originally, we had this plan to be from April to September. I wanted to poll you all to see if you were interested at all in extending this to through December, if that would be interesting to anybody, or if anybody doesn't want to, maybe.
I'm down to go the whole year. I reserved this day of the week to do this.
Okay.
Pretty
And
much same,
that-
yeah.
that's not to say that we're not going to have days or weeks off or anything like that.
Sure,
we have
sure,
a lot
sure.
of stuff. If there's... I tend to want to have all of the party together, so if there's days where people can't make it, I'll probably just either not have a stream or call it a one-shot or something like that. So we can go from there, because I'm sure we'll find different interesting things that can be occurring in the meantime. I like to do the one-shots that are completely related to the story, but maybe at a separate place or tangentially related. That's a lot of fun. What was the other big thing? So extending it so that we have more. It's going to be a weekly stream for me, a bi-weekly stream for you, depending on your... Well, not depending on your group, but each group will go... we'll leapfrog weeks, so it'll be bi-weekly. And if you die, you die. So you're donezo. We have quite the party, and then at some point we will consolidate. Assuming I make big plans to kill players, and I just can never do it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You say
That's
that,
a
but
ghost thing
how
to
often
do.
has that actually happened?
Only one person died last time, and it was
Right.
It was self-inflicted in some ways. I mean, there was some inflicting in other ways, but perfect, a beautifully timed self-inflicted death. So I'm not going to give you as many overpowered items if you played in the Shattered God. I'd throw high-powered items at you just because we're ranking up so fast, and that was putting you against a tier above you and stuff like that. No, ultimately, I didn't need to do that at all. So, we might have some deaths, maybe. But if we do, that's it. That's the end of the road, and you at some point we will consolidate the groups. Like I said, there was one more thing I wanted to bring up, and I don't recall what it was. So I'm not gonna... I'll let you know the groups ahead of time. I won't just surprise you with it on session 1, but it does seem like we will all be together for session 1, and then we'll tell the story and break off from there. Sound good? Okay. So if you'd like to now just kind of continue with your questions with one another, your connection questions. If you want to ask people questions privately, you can feel free to message them over on Discord. If everyone is open to receiving DMs from people, you can do that as well. But by all means, you can feel free to speak openly.
I got one. Immovable Rod. What made you
Yes.
realize we were going to be such good friends?
The first time that we were at a dignitary function and there was a quiet moment and there was kind of a lull. Things were getting kind of boring. Everyone's kind of talking political. And you just told this story from deep somewhere in history that stirred everyone and completely changed the mood of the night. In fact, was so powerful that it was able to kind of fix some broken alliances between people and factions. And from that point, it's like anytime you're ready to tell a story, my character's name is Shurian. Shurian is ready to listen. So that's why.
Nice.
Jace, let me hang on a second. I think I have a question for Jason. Hold on a second. Give me a second. I'm trying. Where are the questions listed? I'm on Demiplane.
It's under your
It's near
character
experience.
sheet under
Details.
experiences.
On
when you go to
details.
do edits.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you. Okay. So Jason, you're
Yes.
sort of a swarthy character, and I think Shurian would actually really appreciate that and want to have people that are outside of the nobility who are actually his real friends. So that's one of the things I was thinking of. So my connection would be, how did I save your life the first time we met?
Ooh, wonderful question. Where do you think we first met? Because you're also from Corvallis, for the most part.
I'm the crown prince of Corvallis, my friend. I was probably carousing down, like snuck out of the palace and was kind of probably hanging out in a tavern he shouldn't have been in.
Yeah. Benjamin was probably in kind of the same area you were in. He puts on these shows that are very comedy of errors inspired. The whole point is nothing ever goes well for him, and the best way to make people laugh, because people have been laughing at him his whole life, is to just get paid for it, I guess. So I think he was doing one of those, probably in this tavern, kind of known for this more seedy groups and all that. He was probably putting on one of these shows, and because even pretending that things go bad doesn't go well for him, he probably spilled some big guy's drink or whatever, and this kind of group of thugs are ever going to take him out back and rough him up and maybe even try to kill him or something. I think Shurian, right?
Yeah, Shurian, yeah.
Yeah, I think Shurian was able to kind of step in and maybe pull a little bit of rank as
Oh, for sure.
as people realize, like, oh, this guy's here. All right, yeah, we can't do this, and they'll kind of break that up.
Thugs. Yeah, cool. Love it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Any other connection questions from anyone?
Yes. I have one for Sage. What threat have you asked me to watch for? And why are you worried about it?
What threat have I asked you to watch for?
Yes.
Oh man. Is it okay if it's like a silly answer? Or do you want like a really serious answer?
Does he have a say in that?
I mean, I don't know how amazing of a answer I can give you on the spot.
All right. Well, write it down and get back to me.
Okay, will you DM me the question so I
Yes.
won't forget? Because I forget.
I do have one for Phoenix too. What
Oh, gosh.
friendly competition do we have?
Oh. Aw.
I was thinking collect the shinies. Because I'm a pirate, I like shinies, and you're like half goblin, so you have to like shinies.
My girl doesn't care about shinies though.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to DM me that question too.
I got another one. I'll try and not spam after this. Zira.
Hello.
Hello. Tyrion's a playboy, but that doesn't mean he doesn't read books. The question is, let me pull it up. What small gift did you give me that you notice I always carry with me?
I think it would definitely be something from home. Something potentially from back within the garden. I think maybe even just an acorn, the seed of something big for a
Love it.
future monarch.
Love it.
It'll stay pretty fresh until you plant it.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's totally up his alley.
I've got one for Jason Dean.
Yeah.
I have both of us have something to do with gods and wandering around. So I'm assuming we bumped into each other at some point.
I believe it.
Why do you ask me so many questions about my god?
Oh, I think Benjen is not particularly happy with his seemingly divinely enforced bad fate. And so I'm sure he's looking... he travels around on his belt. It's just a collection of good luck charms. And he's constantly holding one of them and hoping that that one will work. And so I think whenever he meets somebody of different faiths and who follow different specific deities and things like that, I think he's always trying to ask them if there's anything they do that, you know, that it gets them good luck, or if he should maybe be looking into that god, or just those sort of things. Like, what do you do to bring good luck? Because, you know, he needs as many of those as possible.
I probably just made you sit with me in a field for like 4 hours looking at the stars, and it did absolutely nothing for you.
He was very impatient the whole time, but refused to leave because in case it helped at all.
I do have one final connection question for Zira. Why do you act differently when we're alone than when the others are around?
Mm-hmm. And you're both from the garden too, right?
Exactly. I'll like screenshot these questions and DM them if you don't have an answer on the spot.
I think there is going to be a certain level of mask dropping in a way. I'm imagining that I'm going to end up quite cheerful and bubbly throughout this. I promise Christian it will not be a Valley Girl accent.
Oh, thank you.
I think that you'd see a lot more of Meadow's little rituals and so on, casting runes, looking at omens, stuff like that. Potentially. Them asking you incessantly about your dreams.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's all I had.
I've got one for movable rod. All right.
Sure.
This kind of feels like maybe the I guess Benjen's follow-up to you saving him in that bar, but
Okay.
Feel free to whatever feels nice. It says, what did I recently convince you to do that got us both in trouble?
Yeah, we definitely smuggled something in from the Rogue Nation that shouldn't have been there. Some like just brandy or something that we should not have had. Like, you know, the same thing as like you can't have Cuban cigars, and you know, or maybe you can now. I don't know. Something like that. We smuggled it in, and we got caught.
Oh yeah, the finest of the finest.
Phoenix.
Yes.
At some point, you and I ended up in some sort of fight, not with each other, but with, like, helping each other out in a fight. And you told me that I needed to protect one member of whatever party we were involved in at that moment above all others, even yourself. Who are they and why?
Whoever the
a
youngest
good
party member
question.
was, because they were the youngest party member.
Nice. I thought you were just
And
going to
they
say whoever
deserve
Story
to-
Sage is.
to live longer.
No. because I'm going with my character.
I like it.
she
Whoever is the
would've,
youngest.
you know, she's. So y'all know she's a little bit of a softie when it comes to ages, I guess. So there's that.
That would totally align with what I would be thinking as well. If there was somebody young around,
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
probably taking I Am Your Shield if that ends up working out. So I'd be doing that for a kid for sure.
Nice. Or a new adult.
A
Who
new-
knows?
yes,
Maybe it was M. You know, like maybe M was the youngest person there right then. Could have been.
Unfortunately, I was not. So I'm trying to make up my own connection questions here because Emerald already answered all of theirs in the Festival of Light and Sky. So I'm like, I'm cooking.
Can you not delete the old answers, or you're just trying to think of how they're?
Yeah, I can, but it doesn't give me. It won't give me any new questions.
Well, they usually
Yeah,
populate
choose
based
another
on your.
class, and then just go kind of like go make.
Yeah,
a new
you can make them up.
character.
Those are just recommendations
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
your
Yeah, you can
ideas forming.
come up with more.
I do have an. I'm so sorry. Did I interrupt someone?
It's okay. You go.
Okay. I do have a question for Fargrim as well. So I guess my question is what item or relic or something old and like an archaeological dig, right? Since you're a pirate, what type of archaeological item did we connect and first meet? Like what was our meeting of? I don't know. Are you getting the vibe? Because I
Kinda. What special objects drew us together? Is that
yes, basically
Okay.
yes.
There was a legend about a sword, no, a trident stuck in a reef. And legend has it on some certain weather conditions and conditions with the ocean. You were able to see it and be able to dive to it. So I helped us get there with the ship. And I guess we saw it, but we never were able to grab it.
That's actually really, really good. With that information, can you actually repeat the question that you asked me earlier?
Of course. So my question was, what threat have you asked me to watch for? And why are you worried about it?
I think it would be like a specific type of magic, perhaps even dread magic, which is something that I primarily work with. So I would perhaps teach you the different signs to recognize dread magic and what to kind of watch out for because it can be extremely particular.
I really like that. That was cool.
Fargrim, question.
Yeah.
You asked me what hobby do we have or whatever?
What friendly competition do we have?
Okay. So, what do you think about instead of shinies? I can still collect shinies, but we like gamble with the shinies.
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's our currency and like our gambling games that we do on the side.
I like that.
Okay, cool.
Fantasy Pogs.
Yeah, basically. She
What's the
needs
game-
to keep her skills up.
What's the game called? Should we call it Trinkets?
That's cool.
I like it.
I have one for Scalius. Scalius, after the explosion happened and you disappeared, some people probably were chasing after you, trying to find you. When you were in the middle of getting attacked, you found yourself defended by a weird person with a floating weapon. And what promise did you make me agree to should you die on the battlefield?
I promise to kill the scientist and my father for trying to kill me. No. The scientist killed the scientist because of the experiments and kill my father because he tried to kill me.
Vengeance.
Vengeance.
Cool.
Pure vengeance.
Love it.
I responded with, if it's in the stars.
Teacup. What do I do that annoys you?
Sorry, who was it that asked that?
Me. Sean Teleron.
Got you.
Orc Bard.
Every time I'm trying to trance, you bring out a percussion instrument.
Well, I have a whip, and I like to do whip cracking and
Heck
performances
yeah!
and
You
stuff.
know that
So-
Haspier, the whip guy. You start practicing those, and I'm
And you're
just
trying
sitting
to-
there.
Shut up. All right. I like it.
I actually have another one for Teacup as well.
Sure.
So I am a moon witch, and you got some weird things going on over there with the stars. So my connection question is, what about the moon's phases or the different movements of the stars is something that we like nerd out over?
I would say you and I like to find constellations that we can name ourselves.
That is so good. I love that.
Cool.
That's so
Speaking of
cute.
which, you
Just
think-
laying under the stars for hours. Oh, that one looks like a squirrel.
Oh my gosh. That's actually perfect too, with like all of the like after the shattering and just kind of like charting out like some things that probably nobody else will ever know. I like that a lot.
Nice.
I've got one for Sean. This one, you're of course welcome to answer in call, but since you messaged me directly about the thing that might inspire the answer, I can
Okay.
also send it to you directly. The question is, what have I discovered about your past that I hold secret from the others?
Ooh.
Okay. We'll do that one separate.
Sweet. Yeah.
Speaking of witchy things, Sage,
Yes.
what animal have I said that you remind me of?
Wow. I would actually say, okay, I have to, I'm gonna, all right. So I would have to say a type of salamander that camouflages itself.
Wonderful. I can find some options.
I've got one for Jen.
Okay.
What lie have you told me about yourself that I absolutely believe?
Well, hold on. I have to see who your character is again. Let me look at my notes real quick.
Damn.
I didn't write that much down.
the prince from Corvallis.
How did I not write that down?
I don't know.
Hold on, let me. Anyways, okay. Oh, what? Why would I? Oh, I don't even know if I would talk to you. Could you ask the question again?
What lie? So I just like maybe in a chance encounter, right? Because we're at the very least we're all in the same city, right? So we might have
for sure.
bumped into each other on accident or whatever. And like, oh, who are you? You could. What lie have you told me about yourself? Then I absolutely believe.
Huh. Oh gosh. I think, see, here's the thing about her. She would probably try to get out of the conversation with you as fast as possible. Especially if she knew that you were the crown prince.
The chat on Twitch is saying, let's see, TKK, you would lie and say that you're royalty too. I don't know if that works or not.
I can see Jen being a goblin princess.
Goblin King.
Goblin and Infernus, because she has little horns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not bad. I think I'm gonna play with that a little bit and then try to alter it. It's gonna be something similar.
Yeah.
Or not. I might just try to get him to leave me alone. I need a minute to stew on that. I'm gonna write it down.
That would make him want to talk to you more, but yeah.
No!
Zarian, do you have any questions for anybody, or are you doing it in the chat?
No questions.
Okay.
Oh, I'm writing though.
Gotcha. Okay, does anybody have anything else?
I'm
I have
gonna
one.
give. You go.
Oh, thank you. Actually, this one is for you, Zira.
Oh.
What is? Who do you know from my past, and how have they influenced your feelings about?
I'm going to say that there's at least some interesting little tangled webs on the shipping routes near Vargos. And I think I know someone who had a ship you sailed on once with an entire... Could you remind me the last part of the question? Was it what they told you about you?
How have they influenced your feelings about?
I am so worried about you. There is so much bad luck there. Something's been cursed.
Hell yeah. They lost like their entire fleet or something after I tried to help with a shipment or something.
You got followed by an entire flock of albatrosses.
Yeah. Took weeks to clean all the shit off the boat. Yeah, thank you.
I am gonna throw this one to you, Teacup. What affectionate nickname have you given me?
Ooh. Do you have a character name already?
Meadowlark. Shortened to Meadow, Doe, or Lark, depending on the day.
Okay. I'll need to think about this one. Sorry. Come back to me.
Oh no, I'm excited to see.
Meadowlark, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that as in Team Meadowlark from the Dungeon Crawler Carl?
I did not know that was a thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Just curious.
I admit that I name an awful lot of my characters after birds. Oh, that's interesting.
I haven't asked any of my connection questions yet.
Bring it.
Okay. Sage, you know one had to be for Sage.
Yes.
Okay. I rely on you for something important during our travels together. What is it, and how do you feel about it?
That's a big question, and I know nothing about your character.
I know. I'll send it to you, and we'll just.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah. To be determined.
I do have one for Zarian. What is one thing that we're both afraid of?
That's a good question. Maybe the fallen rounds in question, the one that he fall.
Nice. I mean, that makes sense to me. Because of what my girl does that no one knows about. Okay, Jason. Or Jason,
Yes.
do you want to? You go by Jason Dean?
Jason Dean or JD's fine.
Okay, I'll call you JD. Okay, so I still haven't forgiven you for something you said to me. What was it, and why did you say it?
Oh man, I feel like something I said to you. I feel like Benjen was probably attempting to get on your good side in some way and started going off on some story about some time where he was, if you are from, like, I think it's Zahareth, that kind of area, talking about some story about a time he met a bunch of Infernus and maybe some goblins in this story that was very clearly a lie, but he couldn't stop telling it. And it was just, all around not very endearing on his part. It went on for far too long. And maybe insulted a family you care about or somebody you know from back there, something like that, So he just kept digging himself further and further into this hole as your image of him just went down.
That's so funny. She tries to not have images of people, but somehow.
He had an awful first impression.
I've got the nickname. It's really cute. I call you Apple because when I thought you were a cat I was rescuing from a tree, you were in an apple tree. And just the name kind of stuck as a cute little nickname.
Oh, that is perfect.
Awesome.
All
Apple
right.
and Dipper.
Apple and
Apple
Dipper.
Dipper. That sounds so cute. I love it.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay. The other thing I want to bring up is sharing your character sheets. Does everyone know how to do that with edit restrictions? If you go on Demiplane, if anyone's not playing on Demiplane, let me know. You are. Well, we'll talk about this part too. If you are playing on Demiplane, right next to your character's name, there's like a little hamburg menu, kind of, sort of, with a little arrow in it. It pulls up this character. Let me do this. Let me do this. Hopefully this doesn't crash everything. Can you see this character? On right here in the
Yes, we can.
All right, people on stream can't see it. It's okay. So if you go down here to manage edit permission, you can say, restricted, and you can add a name. My name is super simple. It is. Oh, come on, Ghostlight. Add that. Once you add that name, you can then just send me the link, and then I can. You say add, and then you come back here, and you have share with link. send me the link after you've added me. This is mostly, I won't edit your character unless you need me to on the fly. This is mostly so that I can add items to your inventory throughout the game as I'm giving you stuff. Sometimes I like to drop gifts in between sessions and then give it a narrative reason. Sometimes.
I'm getting a name does not exist. Is it Ghostlight
There's
with
a space.
Yeah, there's a space. No hyphen or anything.
Make sure you don't accidentally type a space after light.
Oh.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I didn't know that it would give you like a does not exist, so that's good to know, because I felt like just writing a name probably wasn't specific enough. But all right, so we've gotten pretty much through character creation. There's still a lot of work that we need to do. We have plenty of time to do that. A couple of things. While you were talking, I rolled the dice and I made some groups. If you're interested in hearing that, you want to hear that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
100% up to the dice. Just so you know. So we have the first team, Team 1. I'll let you name yourselves. Fargrim, Ian, Sage, Aaron, and Jen. You made it, Jen. Team 2 is everyone else. Sean, Zira, Zarian, JD, and Teacup. If you want to trade from your group to another group, just find the person willing to swap, and you're more than willing to let you swap. That's fine, as long as you have somebody who you can swap out with. Just let me know. That being said, look at your fellow teammates. Make sure that your classes align. I don't have a problem with two people having the same class. Just try to make sure that your cards are varied as much as possible. So not.
Want to throw the teams into chat?
Yeah, I'll paste it.
Okay.
It's on my phone right now, so I guess I can just.
Will we have like our own separate group chats within your Discord?
Yep, I'll make a completely separate thread that you all can pop into. You'll still have access to the main thread, or the main channel, but I'll pop in a team chat. If you were on a Light and Sky, then it's very similar to how that one worked out.
Do we have any ideas on what Ian's playing?
Not the last time I spoke with him. He I don't know that he had a character. He asked me what he should bring, and I kind of just told him, just an idea of what a character might look like, and that was kind of it. And so I didn't get any feedback on what that is. I don't think. But I'll let him know in the teams when I paste it in here, and then you can feel free to reach out to him and ask him any connection questions that you haven't already as well. And then he'll be reaching out to ask connection questions with you. I do plan on having you guys sort of cross paths as much as possible, as much as your schedules will allow. We will all be on our first session, and then we will play. We'll alternate. So team 1 will probably go, and we could talk about like what works best for your schedules, which team we go first. A couple of things when it comes to the game itself. So a lot of us have demi-plane, and that's fine, but if you want to play with pen and paper, you absolutely can. We've had players play with pen and paper. If you want to roll on demi-plane, you absolutely can. If you want to roll in the group, you can. If you want to roll with actual dice, you can. I don't audit rolls in any way, shape, or form. It's completely honor system. I trust you to roll and tell me the legitimate response or the legitimate result. Fully trust you all. So if you have your own in-person setup and you want to use it, by all means do that. When it comes to combat, this past series we played it a couple of different ways. I was leaning heavily on Tailspire. And using Hero Forge minis because they were a sponsor. They are still a sponsor, but I'm leaning away from Tailspire. And it's in favor of something that I'm building that I'm really excited about. And I'm not going to tell you what it is quite yet. I just want to present it and be boom. The one hint I'll give you is that the whole aesthetic that we have for the stream is probably a huge indicator of what that might look like. So that's that. And timing. When would you all like to start? Are there any week there any Tuesdays in April that are just like bad?
Let me look at my calendar.
Oh, the set date is Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday is the date.
I could probably see about opening on Tuesdays. That way I have the whole evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we can avoid the 7th, it would make me not have to shuffle some stuff around. But again, I can shuffle stuff around.
Okay. 7th
I
is
have
the
a feeling
first
I would.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I would need to anyway because that's also my dad's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Will be only be Tuesdays.
I'm sorry?
Will only be Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's only Tuesdays. We had been playing on Thursdays. We were looking for a new day. I kind of left it up to the group to sort of vote on it, and that was the consensus. Does that cause problems for you?
Yeah. I go back to work tomorrow, and my day off is only Fridays.
Only Fridays. Okay. Well, we can talk offline about the potential of it, but that is going to be the day, unfortunately. I can't do Fridays myself, so that's kind of why we didn't. I don't even think it was an option on the thing. But we can talk about it more too. As far as Tuesdays go, I have a long drill on the 15th through the 19th with the reserve. I could probably still do the 14th and just go in super tired. They're used to me being grumpy when I get there anyway, so that's probably fine.
The chances of me actually doing something on the Tuesday are very small if it needs to be the 7th. So don't stress about that, just if it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for. I think avoiding Tuesday is fine. Avoiding that 7th is fine. Does anyone else have any like definitely no Tuesdays?
I will be out of visiting my parents on the the 14th.
Okay.
I'll be away for that in that week, but I can bring a laptop and some stuff to run it if I need to, but that's the only one for me. But
how does the 21st look for everybody?
Good.
With the exception of Zarian, I realize that that's still a no-go. All right, so why don't we, because I think avoiding the 14th in general is probably best for me.
For you, yeah.
But that's not to say I won't be playing before drill. It's really just getting there on time. I can be grumpy and as sleepy as I want when I get there, but all right, so let's say the 21st is our first session 0. That's going to be session 1, excuse me. That will be la-di-da-di everybody. And then from there, we will break off into our teams, and we can look at the session 2 and what that looks like for people. Does anyone have for April? Let me actually look at this before I say it. So the 28th is the next. Does anyone have any conflicts with the 28th?
Nope, good to go.
Unfortunately, the next Tuesday is Cinco de Mayo, which I don't necessarily. 4 de Mayo is more important to me because it's my birthday. Cinco de Mayo, however, I don't have any plans for Cinco de Mayo, but if anyone else would prefer to avoid Cinco de Mayo, we can absolutely. Anybody?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. So we'll plan it. We'll plan that for the next 2 sessions. It'll be, session 1 will be the 21st. Session 2 will be the 28th or the 5th, depending on what group you fall into. All right. Outstanding. I'm excited. Does anyone have anything in closing?
I'm excited that I met all of you, and I'm hyped with my group.
Yeah, this is very exciting. Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
I cannot wait. I'm a little nervous having the two groups. This is my first time actually doing it, but I am excited to have it weekly for me. So, lots of adventure to be had.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
If I think everyone signed the release form as well. We did a creative rights release, and just to be upfront about it, it's basically just giving you information about we are building IP together as a group, so we are all co-authors. Anything that you create as far as intellectual property stays with you. It is your rights. You keep everything. That when asking for permission for group action role, it's really just so that it lives on stream, it lives on YouTube. So it's just saying, hey, yeah, it's okay to be there. And then if you don't want it for anything else, I don't have any big plans to write a book about anything, but if that were to happen, then you would certainly maintain those rights and credit and all that good stuff. So that's the purpose of all that. I know that I was very verbose with all of those posts, but that's really the gist of it. So, all right. Last on our list was what? Last on our list for this agenda. Final questions, next session, and confirming schedules moving forward. I already have all of your the dates where you can't play, so I'll put that schedule together and I'll post something in the Discord. I'll also make the different teams, and then we will go from there. Sound
Nice.
good?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Super excited to see the characters that you've come up with. If you think of anything that I haven't mentioned, by all means, reach out. I'm always attached to a device. So, and before we leave, so you know that you all will start with 2 hope. There are exceptions to that. Zarion and Sage have both been gifted hope in this session. So there you have it. I am gonna make this rule, is that, which we didn't do for the Shattered God, is that you cannot buy hope or fear for anyone at the table. So I'm sorry, Sean, you won't be able to buy me
fear.
You can't buy me fear. I would normally accept it, but I feel like it's not fair if I take it and you don't take it. Yeah,
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Can we buy hope for whenever it's not our night?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can I buy fear on the alternate night?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not on my screen, you can buy whatever you want.
Gotcha.
Certainly.
Oh, okay.
All right. Outstanding. And look at that. 2 hours and 15 minutes. We got under the 3-hour mark. Any alibis? Anything in closing?
Let's do this.
Excited.
Yeah, I'm just super excited.
Yeah.
I will continue to post lore and stuff on the website, and if there's anything you need from me or anything you want to create, like I said, like the world is literally your oyster, feel free to make anything you want and we'll plop it on the map. I am going to go through and add all of the kids places where they lived somewhere on the map from Festival of Light and Sky. A little bit even more there. But if you want a town, build a town. If you want some NPCs, build some NPCs. I will be reaching out to each of you to create some things. I'd like to have you create NPCs and then bring them into the world and drop them off cliffs and stuff, good stuff.
Cool.
So I'll reach out to you about that stuff. Yeah,
I already
so that's
gave you
it.
a few of mine.
You did. I have a list for you, which is outstanding. All right. Thank you for watching at home. Looking forward to getting this going. I'm glad that we have so much time to really let this kind of bake a little bit and kind of see what you come up with. So super exciting. All right.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching. Thank you all for coming here and being a part of this and giving this part of your night and then giving so much of your life in the year ahead to this endeavor. And I'll see you in April.
Yay.
All right.
Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Ghost.
Take care. Bye-bye.